In this podcast episode, professional tennis player Nick Kyrgios opens up about his struggles with mental health, the pressures of being a top athlete, and the challenges he faces in the world of professional tennis. He discusses his early childhood memories, his rise to success in the sport, and the impact of the media's portrayal of him as the bad boy of tennis. Kyrgios reveals that his relationship with tennis has been complicated, and he often feels exhausted and tired of the sport. He talks about the pressure to perform and the expectations placed on him by fans, the media, and sponsors. He also discusses the impact of injuries on his career and the toll it has taken on his mental and physical well-being. The athlete shares his darkest moments, including struggles with depression, self-harm, and thoughts of suicide. He talks about the negative impact of social media and the constant criticism he faces from the public. Kyrgios also discusses the challenges of dealing with his public persona and the misconceptions people have about him. Despite the difficulties he has faced, Kyrgios expresses gratitude for the support of his family, friends, and fans. He acknowledges the importance of playing for others and the motivation he derives from inspiring others, especially young fans who look up to him. He also reflects on the pressure to constantly prove himself and the false hope of achieving success to silence his critics. Kyrgios opens up about the challenges of playing the character expected of him, especially in high-stakes matches and major tournaments. He discusses the pressure to entertain and put on a show for the audience, as well as the expectations placed on him by sponsors and the media. He also shares his feelings about different locations where he plays tennis. He expresses a dislike for playing in Australia, citing the pressure and expectations from the home crowd. In contrast, he feels more at home and appreciated when playing in the United States, particularly at the US Open, where he feels the American fans enjoy his entertaining style of play. Kyrgios reflects on a moment in his career that left a sour taste in his mouth, being booed off the court after a tough loss at the Australian Open. He describes feeling overwhelmed and locked himself in the physio room with his physio, highlighting the emotional toll of the experience. He also discusses the negative backlash and criticism he has faced from the media and the impact it has had on his relationship with Australia. The conversation delves into the challenges of being a public figure and the pressure to maintain a certain image. Kyrgios shares his struggle with the perception of being a bad boy in the tennis world and the impact it has had on his career. He emphasizes the importance of being true to oneself and the difficulty of navigating public scrutiny while trying to stay authentic. Kyrgios also discusses the impact of social media on relationships, highlighting the need for strong boundaries and mutual respect. He shares his experiences with previous toxic relationships and the importance of finding common ground when it comes to navigating the spotlight as a couple. The conversation takes a personal turn as Kyrgios opens up about the emotional toll of his career and the challenges he has faced. He discusses the pressure to maintain a strong exterior while acknowledging the need to process emotions in a healthy way. Kyrgios reflects on the balance between expressing emotions and maintaining strength, drawing from his own experiences and the influence of his family. The conversation shifts to lighter moments as Kyrgios shares his love for simple pleasures, such as spending time with family and friends. He discusses the joy of hosting an annual Christmas party with a themed dress code. Kyrgios also shares his passion for travel and the joy of experiencing different cultures. He reflects on his favorite places to visit, including Australia, Asia, and the United States. He emphasizes the importance of embracing diverse experiences and finding joy in the simple moments of life. Kyrgios talks about the difficulty of dealing with the loss of his grandmother and the pressure to perform in his tennis career. He shares that he used to feel regretful about not spending enough time with her and how tennis took time away from their relationship. However, he has come to understand that he was young and naive at the time and has been kinder to himself about it. He also discusses the impact of his loss on his career, particularly after losing a match at Wimbledon. Kyrgios shares that he struggled with the feeling of not being enough and the pressure to live up to the expectations of others. He reflects on the difficulty of dealing with the criticism and the need to find a balance between being himself and meeting the expectations of others. Kyrgios reflects on the difficulty of dealing with the pressure to fit in or stand out and the need to discover oneself. He shares that he has had to unlearn the idea of fitting in and standing out and has learned to focus on discovering himself.